Welcome to Hey Assbutt.
Hey! You know what that voice reminds me of?
What's that?
It reminds me of the personification of Swamp Ass. Like if Swamp Ass were a person, then doing the "Welcome to Hey Assbutt" is that person.
Oh yeah. Like hey.
That's the sound that comes out of my ass when I have too many tacos. So.
So we had Chinese instead.
Yeah.
That's a different sound.
Yeah.
Higher pitch.
See, now I'm just going to take Ben saying "hey" and then just sparse it through the episode very faintly. Or any episode, maybe not this one, but a different one, and people will be like, "Oh man, Ari had some tacos."
I don't fart on recordings
That you know of.
that
Yeah.
I know of.
That we know of. These microphones are very directional.
So Ari, you got
Well,
some...
if I put my butt in the face of the microphone, then I think that's one thing. But
Yeah.
I'm glad we can tell which microphone's which.
I know, right?
Hey.
Well, one of them has my butt on it, so. Guys, this is a very entertaining visual bit, and
See
you
that?
are missing it.
Maybe someday we'll live stream this on Twitch, but
Not today.
Not today.
So, how has y'all's week's been going? What's going on, guys?
Oh, it's been all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing special to recount, or?
No.
I went to go see Lucky Logan, or Logan Lucky. So
Oh, I've heard really great
Logan
things
Lucky.
about that movie.
it's really good.
What's it about?
Have you seen Ocean's 11?
Yes.
Imagine the redneck version of that.
Okay.
It's made by the guy
Oh.
that shot the newest Ocean's 11 or the Ocean's films.
Now
It's-
I'm
It's really fucking good.
Are
I'm
they-
1000% more into that movie because I love heist films.
Are
Yeah.
they robbing a casino?
No, they rob.
It's a redneck version, so they rob their local Piggly Wiggly.
No, actually, it's they rob a NASCAR track
Oh.
on like a massive race day.
Nice.
Channing Durface Tatum is in it.
Yep. He's in it. Adam Driver, Daniel Craig.
Oh my God, Daniel Craig's in it?
Yeah.
Well, now I am 3,000% more likely to go see that movie.
Yeah.
He has an amazing. He puts on this amazing Appalachian accent.
Oh,
Appalachian.
God.
Appalachian. We're not even doing that
Appalachia.
right.
It's fucking good. I would highly suggest going to see it.
All right.
I would give it an 8.5 or a 9.
Damn.
So
Wow.
people like. Well, it's like. I know it's like crazy high, but I'm like very. All right.
He's
fair enough.
very passionate about heist
No, like,
films.
that's true, but I don't know. It didn't feel like a 7 or an 8 fully. Like it fucked up at one part, but it never fucked up a whole lot, and I never didn't enjoy seeing it except for the people that were sitting in the same aisle as me.
What happened? What were those people doing?
It was a bunch of small kids.
Oh,
Oof.
It was
Wow.
like we went to go see it at the smaller one over by where Madison Square used to be.
yeah.
Oh, that's a good theater.
That
It's
is a
an
good
ama-
theater.
It's an amazing theater.
They have chairs, like really comfy chairs that
Really
recline all the
comfy
way
chairs.
back.
Yeah.
Ugh, it's amazing. And there's mouthwash in the bathrooms.
Hell yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Also,
Dang.
early on Sunday
And
mornings,
delicious mouthwash.
they have, I think it's at least 18 or 21 up viewings for
Oh,
films.
nice.
Oh my God, we
And
have to
it
go
sh-
there for all of our movies.
And
Yeah.
it is strict as fuck.
Because I hate children.
I
I don't hate children. I just adopted one in Skyrim.
actually I marathoned a bunch of Adam's Ruin Everything,
Yeah.
and there was an episode about like hygienic products, and apparently mouthwash was originally used. It was originally marketed as like an antiseptic floor and foot washer.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because
I
it
mean-
was like, it was made so long ago that it was one of those like cure-all products where it's like, you can
Yeah.
wash your floor with it. You can wash your face with it.
Like how vibrators used to be sold in Sears magazines, that sort of
Yeah.
thing.
As back massagers.
Yeah.
that kind of
Another-
thing.
Which,
Another
hey,
part.
they still work as a back massager, so.
Hell,
And
anything
so-
that vibrates does.
Indeed.
And until
I vibrate.
Listerine
Let the women too.
literally coined the term halitosis, nobody thought their breath was bad or anything. It was just normal.
I think you misunderstood me, Travis. I'm not going to the mouthwash to freshen my breath. I'm drinking it.
Oh, you're drinking it
'cause
like
it
a
tastes
homeless
delicious.
person.
Yeah. It's like a
There's nothing wrong with
Rumplemint's.
homeless people. They're very smart.
Yeah,
They drink mouthwash.
Yeah, they drink mouthwash. They get
Ma-
fucked up.
Yeah.
There's actually a convenience store somewhere, like on Governor's or Bob Wallace or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
They have stocks. They have like a couple bottles of mouthwash in their drink coolers for the homeless people that like to
that's-
drink mouthwash.
That's
Yeah.
nice of them.
It's
Yeah.
like it's like less nice Rumplemint's.
Yeah, basically.
I think I would prefer to drink mouthwash to
Over
Rumplemints.
Rumplemints, absolutely.
Well, the first time I threw
Rumplemints is
up because
gross.
of large alcohol consumption, the Rumplemints was really what pushed me over the top.
Oh.
So I just don't have fond memories of Rumplemints.
I've never thrown up from alcohol consumption, but Rumplemints
lucky
is
you.
just gross.
That had to be gnarly.
No, actually,
it twice.
the reason that I've never thrown up because of alcohol is because I just force will myself not to.
Oh, really?
So I'll be like, I know if I throw up, I will feel better, but I'm not going to.
You ever blacked out drunk? Or gotten blackout drunk?
No.
Yeah. No, when you go that far, you really don't have any like control over what happens inside your body.
Ooh.
So you're gonna vomit.
I typically will force myself to throw up because when I drink beer, it's just a mess. And my stomach is just like, go fuck yourself. So I will be like, time to vomit. And then I feel so much better and then I just get drunk again. It's a great
Wow.
experience.
Exactly.
It's really something lucky that I do for myself.
Is that sounds like bulimic alcoholism?
You know, it's not. It's
Wow.
I'm not trying to purge. I'm just trying to make my stomach feel better because
Yeah.
it'll.
No, that's what it is because alcohol
Yeah.
is technically poison.
Because
But
I don't burp. So I gotta get that shit taken care of somehow.
Yeah.
No, I completely
You're
understand
like a
that.
bird.
Yes.
If you drink too much Alka-Seltzer, are you going to blow up?
Yeah, probably.
Like I will force if I feel like gnarly or sick or anything, I will force myself. I'm not gonna stick my finger down my throat or anything, but I will force myself to vomit.
Yeah.
Because I know I will feel better afterwards.
That is disgusting.
Yeah.
I hate vomiting.
I know
Well,
it sucks. It's
I mean,
the
I don't
worst
enjoy
thing.
it. I'm not
Yeah.
like,
It's not a
ooh,
fetish.
my favorite thing. Da! But I am like, all right, this is something you have to do. Like, I don't know, clipping your toenails or,
Yeah.
I would
pulling
not,
hairs out of your body.
I would not equate clipping my toenails
Waxing.
to vomiting.
I mean, it's.
Do you
No.
enjoy? Do you enjoy clipping your toenails?
Yeah, because my toenails are disgusting, and then by the time I clip them,
Alright, so
I have a bit about how long I let my toenails get when I'm depressed.
do you feel the same way about clipping your toenails as I do about vomiting?
Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I will say that being said, this is going to sound really gross because it is. I do have a favorite thing. I have a thing that I don't mind to vomit, and that is ice cream.
Oh,
Nobody
yeah.
minds vomiting ice cream.
No, that's like actually a thing. If you feel like you're about to vomit, you should eat a dairy product, like drink milk or eat ice cream, because that'll make it.
I would say ice cream over milk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, ice cream I think just tastes delicious no matter which way it's coming.
That's
true.
true.
But I
Hey.
would never be like, oh, I enjoy this. I don't know. Benjamin, how was your week going? I'm trying to move away from like this
Yeah, let's
disgusting
get away.
topic we found ourselves on.
I'm gonna put a disclaimer right at the top of the notes
my
on this.
God.
and be
Shit
like,
gets gross.
hey, we're gonna talk about some really gross shit for like 10
30
minutes.
minutes.
Yeah. The entire episode. I mean, there's some gross shit that happens in this episode, so I feel
Yeah.
like it's just appropriate.
Yeah, probably.
Well, to talk about my week and steers away from this.
I threw up several times.
Several times. It was a good
I
time.
threw up. It tastes like ice cream.
No, I'm trying a new thing where I'm trying to like be okay with being by myself because I deleted all the dating apps off my phone.
Oh.
And I'm trying to. I don't know if I talked about this last week or not. Maybe I did.
I don't think you did.
Okay, cool.
I actually matched with somebody on Tinder recently,
Oh,
and
nice.
then she stopped messaging me after I started talking about cryptids.
Okay. Here's the
All
thing,
right, so-
Travis.
No,
No, hold on. I'm gonna give you some advice. You can't show you're crazy all at once. All right? You can't just go in with the crazy. You gotta introduce it very slowly.
yeah.
Well, no,
You gotta
No, have you ever played poker?
yeah,
All right, do you bluff it all at once?
no.
No, you start small and then
Yes.
you build up, like in
That's
Gant's
exactly
joke.
what I just said.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. If I start a conversation with someone, they were like, let's talk about the monsters I think about in my head. I would be like, oh, okay. I'm going to go away now.
This person.
Goodbye.
Well,
Like,
see, here's the thing: is that it got led into very naturally because my opening line on Tinder is, "Hey, what do you think about ghosts?"
I forgot about that.
Yeah, so it's always, "Hey, what do you think about ghosts?" Like, ghosts are super real. Okay, cool, me too. And then we started talking about like ghost hunting, and I was like, "Yeah, what about like looking for Sasquatch and stuff, and I was like, nothing.
Maybe she's out looking for Sasquatch.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
She's in an
She's
area
out
where her phone
squatching.
doesn't
She's
work.
out squatching. But no, but to bring him back, I guess.
Oh yeah, sorry.
That's fine.
Yeah, let's talk about Ben for a minute, Travis. All right.
But, or do you want to like just focus on how to talk to women? Because I can kind of help you with
That's
that.
the name of the episode.
How to talk
How
to
to
women.
talk to women. You know what? I'm not even sure I know how to talk to a woman, and I am a woman.
Yeah.
So
Yep, I really don't know what I'm doing. I just do what feels right, and things kind of happen.
Yeah, I
See,
mean,
talking
women are
about
just-
ghosts feels right.
women are just like people. So I generally just talk to them about things I'd talk to other people about.
Like, how's the weather? And
Yeah,
Sasquatch.
or what do you think about ghosts?
Yeah, or God, I don't know. What music are you into?
Yeah. What kind of demons do you have in the back of your head?
The thing
Yeah.
though is like
What do the voices say?
I can't do the what music.
What the voices say.
I can't do the what music are you into thing because they'll be like, oh yeah, I'm into like this and this, and I'm like, okay, cool. I like listening to Bing Crosby and the Andrews Sisters. Like, who the fuck is that?
No, some women are into that.
Yeah.
I've met plenty of girls that dig swing and Bing Crosby, your crooners, some
Oh,
Frank
and then you can
Sinatra.
lead into, hey, there's actually a swing night. Do you want to go dancing sometimes?
Hey, I don't know how to dance at all,
feel
but
weird.
It's like a class thing. They teach you.
oh okay.
There's always somebody there who can help you out. Bitch, I know how to swing dance. I'll give you a lesson.
I know how to swing.
I'll dip you.
I know how to do like the basic.
I'll teach you how to dance.
I know how to do the basic like 3-step thing. I don't know. I learned a little bit at one point.
Dancing is super fun and enjoyable, and I wish people did it more. Go to bed, Ducky.
I wish it just wasn't club shit. That people when it said, "Hey, I like to go dancing," it's always at a club,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
and it's always
Which I do enjoy, but it's nice to have some variety, you know? I mean, I don't know. I don't enjoy it as much anymore because I think it's just like I'm old and I'm tired.
I've been to like the same club a couple of times, and that's Sammy T's.
Oh, I hate Sammy T's.
I've never been to a club. Other
Okay,
than that.
background Sammy T's is like,
Imagine,
it's creepy and gross.
yeah, like imagine like if fraternities, sororities, badly cut cocaine, watered down expensive drinks,
Yeah.
and shitty club
Somebody
music
who
all
definitely has roofies.
Yeah, no, I've seen a roofie deal go down in the bathroom there
Oh
before.
Jesus.
Oh, God.
And I've only been there twice.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sammy T's is like
A shithole.
The sketch
Yeah.
club. In Huntsville. They also have like hottest ladies contest, which I always think
Yeah,
are super
that's
gross.
dumb.
Hashtag number system.
Yeah, right. It's just it's just not a fun place, and I don't like going there.
It's a bad scene.
There was a club in Columbia. It wasn't really a club. It was more like just like a dive bar called the East Room. And there would be a dance party there every Friday night. And I think you would enjoy that a lot more.
Is it Tennessee or?
No, it's in It's in Missouri.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I used to live in Missouri, and it was a great little college town. There's always something to do.
I just had a
and I
great
loved it.
idea.
Let's go to Columbia,
for-
Missouri.
Road trip.
I had a great idea for a dance club / bakery. We're gonna call it the Yeast Room.
Hey. But the East Room is also where they did their open mic,
I don't
so
wanna laugh
I
at
think you
that.
would like it. You know what I found to do? When you're in the situation of a bad pun, you just go, and then you move on. You move away from that topic as
You move
quickly
it
as
on over.
possible.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you would like it, Ben. We should really travel up to Columbia time and see the sights and
All right.
talk to the people and
Let's do it.
What?
run for mayor.
Hell yeah. We could get elected.
We could probably get elected. I don't know
Yeah.
what the rules are.
Fucking
I
A.
used to be a resident, so
Hey, I'll be the treasurer or something. I don't know.
God, you know so little about politics.
Yeah, because
This is coming to light right now.
I'll be the
all right, you're pretty,
bailiff.
so.
I'm kidding. I'm not.
Bailiff.
Bailiff. Nobody would put you in a jail unless they're putting you in jail.
It's true.
Um,
Have you seen me?
I'm looking at you right now.
I'm pretty sure I'm on parole still. I don't know.
Ben's not allowed to go to Jasper County anymore. Not that he would want to, but he's not allowed to, is the point.
You don't know how true that is.
South Alabama's really sketchy for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
He went to Tuscaloosa the other day, and it was just a wild ride.
Hell yeah. I bought some socks.
Well, you know what? Hey, man, you need some socks, all right?
Yeah.
That is on my Christmas list every year.
Every
I'm
year.
always just like, get me some fucking socks.
Every time.
Hopefully with cute designs, but if not, white is fine.
What are
Black preferred.
What were we talking about before we went on down this rabbit hole tangent?
We're talking about your criminal record.
All right, well,
I'm just kidding. Let's talk about, I have some questions for you guys.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. What is your favorite book/comic book movie adaptation and your least favorite book/comic book movie adaptation?
I'm gonna need a minute.
You take your time, buddy.
Yeah, you start since it's your question.
Okay, I'll start.
Because you obviously have an answer.
I don't actually.
Oh.
But I'll continue. Actually, one of my favorite, and I don't know if it's like my favoriteest favorite, but definitely one of my favorite comic book adaptations is Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Yeah.
They had to take 6 books and condense it into a 90-minute movie, and I think they did a really good job.
That is very impressive.
The characters are all really great, except for the ones that they kind of had to push to the background. Like, Kim Pine is a much better character in the comic books than in the
She's
than in the
almost
movie.
non-existent in the movie.
She really is. She really just gets, like, mentioned. She's in a couple of scenes. She's a
Yeah.
much larger character in the comic books. And she's great in them. Also, I think Ramona Flowers is a better character in the comic books.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I feel like in the movie they were kind of trying to make her like super, like way mysterious and aloof.
Yes.
So it was like that's the direction they went with her.
They Ginny-fied her.
Yeah.
Ginny from Harry Potter, much cooler in the books than in the movie. Same with Ramona Flowers.
Absolutely.
And in the comic books, you actually get how she is. They're kind of Scott and Ramona are kind of perfect for each other in a way. But they get Scott's character totally perfect.
Yeah.
I think Michael Cera does a great job. I think it's very like the music's great. The video game references are awesome.
You know, there was a thing since there's going to be a new season of Arrested Development. I think.
Yeah.
They posted this thing where everyone during the filming of the original series,
Yeah.
they weren't sure if Michael Cera was acting or if he was just really that awkward.
Oh God.
Because that was like one of his first roles was John Michael in
yeah.
Arrested
George
Development.
Michael.
Yeah, George Michael.
You plebe.
It's been a while.
What a bananas. $10. Yeah. Michael, but the thing about Scott is not that he's awkward. It's that he is kind of a dick. And by kind of a dick, I mean he's really a dick. He's just lazy and he mooches off his friends and he's inconsiderate. And Michael Cera really captures that.
Yeah.
Spoiler for Scott Pilgrim, but why haven't you seen Scott Pilgrim? He gains the sword that's the power of love pretty early in both the comic and in the movie as well. And the point isn't that he gains the power of love sword. The point is that he actually gains the power of self-respect sword.
Right.
So it's really about him growing up than more about this, this relationship that he has. But it's just so good, and I think the movie did a really good job. And I love reading the comics, and I love watching the movie. I do both of them all the time. So
Nice. Least favorite?
it's tough because there are a lot of terrible adaptations of books that I like.
Yes, there are.
But right now, I'm gonna have to go with The Dark Tower.
Yeah. Very, very recent.
I saw the Dark Tower movie, and I hated it. It's not very good.
I'm sorry about that.
It's just boring. It's just boring. And I don't think the characters don't have a lot of time to flesh out, even though they really only focus on, Jake, Roland, and the Man in Black, Walter. But it's just, for those of you who don't know, The Dark Tower is Stephen King's magnum opus. It's super long. It took him years to write it. And it is one of I think, the most underrated fantasy series today. And they just made a movie out of it starring Idris Elba, who is... and Matthew McConaughey, who is also freaking great. And it's not that they're bad choices for the roles. I think they both did a really good job.
Yeah.
It's just that it was a very short movie, and it was 1 hour and 35 minutes.
Wow.
And, they were trying to do a sequel to the books. It just wasn't just was not
So
good.
they were trying to make a continuation of what already was.
Yeah, kind of. But then they took the books and they kind of mashed them together. But they didn't have all the characters, and
That never fucking works.
it really
Yeah.
doesn't. It really,
Well,
really
see, I
doesn't.
think you just chose two examples where in Scott Pilgrim you said they mashed all the books together,
Right.
And it did really work,
Right.
And then in the Dark Tower they tried to mash them all together, and then it didn't.
Well, that's the difference
Right.
because
So
the Scott Pilgrim was originally a graphic novel, correct? Mm-hmm. And Dark Tower is originally a book series.
Yeah,
There's
so
a
that-
lot more source material for the Dark Tower than there is.
That's true. And what they needed to do was a Game of Thrones style TV show.
Yeah.
And they were doing a Game of Thrones style TV show, but not for not for the Dark Tower series proper, but for it's a prequel series, which I think is going to be really good, and I really
so
want
it's
to see
more
it. But
it's more along the lines of it's just more Dark Tower content.
right, well, I don't want to spoil the Dark Tower because I think you said you were going to read it.
Yeah.
I'm also going to read it.
You're also going to read it? Okay, I don't want to spoil it then, but a sequel does what they attempted to do does make sense in a way because it does work. But yeah, they needed better writing. They needed to spend more time with the characters because it's kind of like looking into the first. Oh, they made Jake the main character when Roland should have been the main character since the books are about him.
Right.
But what they wanted to do was an audience surrogate, which is an audience surrogate is a character who gets introduced to the crazy batshit things that are happening, and they go with the audience and are like, "Wow, the magic world that I'm now in is awesome."
Oh, like what's his face from Fantastic Beasts?
Yeah,
Jacob.
Harry Potter is an example
Yeah.
of it. Gwen from Torchwood. She's the mundane who gets scripted into this magical
Right.
or sci-fi type world.
Basically any companion from Doctor Who.
Yeah, any companion from Doctor Who. So they made Jake the audience surrogate.
Okay.
But I don't think we really need an audience surrogate. I think if they could have just had Roland as the main character, that would have been fine.
Right.
Because
Sorry.
because I was saying, I kept thinking of Mad Max. Because the beginning of The Gunslinger, which is the first book in the Dark Tower series, and the beginning of Mad Max Fury Road are very similar, where it's just Roland in a desert pursuing something, and it's Mad Max in the desert pursuing something. And they could have had this, I just imagine this shot of Idris Elba in the desert, and he's pointing his gun out towards where he thinks the man in black is. And just that would have been so much cooler and badass, and it would have started everything out on the right foot. As opposed to what they did, which is the first shot is a bunch of kids playing, which I don't even remember from the book. It's just fucking nuts.
Wow.
So everybody go read The Dark Tower and watch the Scott Pilgrim movie and read the Scott Pilgrim comic books and don't watch the Dark Tower movie. That's my suggestion.
Nice. So my favorite book adaptations right now are series of unfortunate events.
Ooh.
And not just the Netflix special, but I think the original series of unfortunate events movie was still pretty okay.
Really?
I'm gonna say this right quick as a sidebar, but fuck you.
Okay.
I really don't like the movie. I think the whole thing is just a hot steaming pile of a dumpster fire.
It's actually it's okay. I feel like Jim Carrey's Count Olaf is very over the top and very silly.
I mean, those books are kind of over the top.
Exactly, and everything
wasn't though.
everything's very silly and over the top anyway. And yeah, they missed a big amount of details because they were squashing the first 3 books into one, and it really flopped around a little bit. But I think the bones of it were still really good, and I think that is what helped the Netflix series become what it is.
Okay. I will retract my fuck you. But I'm not gonna say the movie's good.
Because the Netflix series is very strong.
Fuck yeah, it is.
Very strong, very true to the
It
books.
is.
NPH is a fan goddamn tastic Count Olaf, and he's
And all the kids that they got are
And
really
I love
great.
I love Patrick Warburton as Lemony Snicket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I can't wait for the rest of it. Son of a bitch.
I haven't actually seen the movie since it came out, so I really don't remember it that well. My personal favorite book was the
Urset's Elevator.
That was a good one.
Is that was my guess as your favorite.
That was a really
really?
that was a really memorable one for me.
Was that the one with the red herring?
I believe so.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
And they drank aqueous martinis.
Yep.
Yes.
Which were just water with olives in them.
Yes.
Have you ever had an aqueous martini?
I did. I remember my parents were having a party and I wanted to make an aqueous martini,
Oh
so
my
I
God.
did. They were like, "Yeah, go for it."
But actually, I think the mill is my favorite one. The
The,
miserable
That's a
mill.
good one.
The miserable mill is a good one.
That part of the Netflix series is fan goddamn tastic.
Yeah,
It is.
that's a good episode
with
too.
Don Johnson as the cigar with the smoke faced man.
Yeah.
Yes.
That Netflix series, man, it's really good.
Yeah.
All right, what's your least favorite adaptation?
My least favorite adaptation is Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Ooh, good
I
answer.
do not like that movie.
All right.
I loved those books. I've got the full like thick ass anthology of all of them plus the extra one.
Mm-hmm.
They're all fantastic, and I love Douglas Adams, and I love like Terry Pratchett, and those like satirical British authors like that. But yeah, that movie just was.
Fair
It got so many things wrong. It was silly and it was fun, but it wasn't
What it was
right.
supposed to be.
It
Yeah.
wasn't right.
I
But I also feel like it could have a very similar Netflix series
Well, in any
situation.
big ass book series needs a television show, like a
Yeah.
Netflix series at this point, because of that. Because you
Yeah.
can't do an hour and a half or 2 hours of a book that took you 40 hours to read.
Absolutely.
That's just not going to add up at the same math, you know?
Can I actually add a second favorite one?
Dude, I got two of both right
Okay.
here, so it's fine.
I'm gonna add a second of my favorites because I just mentioned Terry Pratchett. One of my favorite Discworld books is The Hogfather,
and the Hogfather adaptation.
and the Hogfather adaptation is fucking hype. It is
Okay.
on point as shit.
So I actually have a Terry Pratchett fact
Yeah?
that I'd like to share at this time because I
What's that?
also love Terry Pratchett. And by the way, really want an adaptation of Small Gods so bad and all of the Nightwatch books. And
I would actually love to see adaptations of the Tiffany Aching books.
yes, those would be
The-
really great.
Like The Wee Free Man and
Okay.
Hatful of Sky.
So if you haven't read any Terry Pratchett books, I'm honestly
Fucking
surprised.
stop listening to this
Yeah,
podcast
I
right
am-
now
I
and
am-
go read a Terry Pratchett book.
Shocked that you actually have found this podcast because I feel like people who are into fantasy all kind of go to the same things. They travel around the same circles, and Terry Pratchett is in that circle.
Absolutely.
But his death is, I think, one of the best representations of death in media. And he
yes.
has a quote he was sharing right before he died. This quote that I want to read, which is
Oh, you're gonna make me cry.
yeah. Sometimes I get nice letters from people who know they're due to meet him, that's death, soon, and hope I've got him right. Those are the kinds of letters that cause me to stare at the wall for some time.
Ah!
Can you just imagine being a writer and getting a letter that's like, hey, I'm going to die soon, and I hope the person I meet at your death is a character you've created.
Yeah.
Especially since Terry Pratchett said this right before he died.
Yeah.
So, like, God, I hope that's what happened. Do you know what I mean?
When,
I hope that death met Terry Pratchett.
When Terry Pratchett died, I saw so much fan art of like Terry Pratchett at Death's mansion,
Yeah.
like knocking on the door,
Oh my
and Death
God.
opens the door and he's like, "Hello, old friend."
I want that death, or I want the death from Sandman. Those are my two favorite
Yeah.
deaths.
Death from Sandman was good.
Or I guess Grimm from The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy.
Also solid.
Also a solid death. But yeah, Terry
Fun fact.
Oh yeah,
Pratchett. man.
my favorite Hogfather scene, and I saw it put into a comic recently, is when he's being the Hogfather and he's at the toy store.
Oh my
And he
gosh.
gives the little girl a sword, and
Yes.
then the parents are like, "You can't give her that. It's dangerous. It'll teach her a lesson."
Yeah.
And he's like, "But she'll hurt herself." Well, that's a very important lesson.
Yes. That book actually, in a way, like strengthened my faith in humanity.
Oh yeah,
Because at the end, Death is talking to his granddaughter Susan,
Mm-hmm.
and he's talking about how children need to believe in the Hogfather.
The Hogfather and the Tooth Fairy and stuff like that.
So that they can, so they need to believe in the little lies so that they can believe in the big lies when they grow older.
Yeah.
And Susan's like, I'm literally getting goosebumps.
That. Yeah, me
Susan's
too.
like, what are the big lies? And Death's like, justice, mercy. And Susan's like, no, those are real things. And Death is like, grind up the universe. You will not find one molecule of justice, one atom of mercy.
Yeah.
Kids need to believe in that. Adults need to believe in that, or else it doesn't happen. And that just like,
yeah, it's incredible.
Oh God.
Also, that's where
tingles.
I
got tingles.
That's where I get the namesake for most of my like online usernames is Tea Time.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's awesome. It's actually Tia Time, but
I know.
All right.
in the movie adaptation, they say Tea Tame.
Oh, pardon me.
Yeah, but it's Ben's turn
now.
now.
Sorry. Now that we're done with our Terry Pratchett gasm,
I'm gonna keep going down this tangent right quick.
Okay.
This is a not so fun fact, but let me get through all of it before you say anything.
Okay. Well, shut up.
I've never read a Terry Pratchett book. That being said, when I went through morphine withdrawals about 3 years ago, my sister read to me one of his books.
Do you remember which one?
I don't.
Oh.
You know, obviously, I don't want you to like
It's
be
fine.
negatively affected.
Yeah,
but
I really enjoyed it. It was just I had trouble paying attention because I was having the shakes.
Right.
I would highly recommend any of the Granny Weatherax books.
Mm-hmm.
Lords and Ladies is really good.
Weird Sisters.
Yeah.
I have Good Omens in my backlog.
Good Omens
Nice,
is great.
yeah.
That's not a Discworld book,
But it's still
but it is
Terry
a Terry Pratchett
yeah.
/ Neil Gaiman book. So two good ones.
Yeah.
My first Discworld book was Mort.
Uh-huh.
And that's a good one, especially if you want to hear the character Death. If you want to see Death a lot and see how he interacts with humans and stuff.
My first Discworld book was Small Gods, and that book has kept me warm for many nights.
Nice.
It has some great messages about religion.
I think it was Mort.
Was it Mort that she read to you? Because that'd be incredible.
About like an ogre?
No.
Okay, that wasn't Mort. I'm
About
sorry.
an ogre.
No.
I think I remember it being like it was very real worldy, but it was about like fantasy monsters. Like I said,
Maybe a Tiffany Aching book?
Yeah,
maybe. But yeah, I'll just ask her at some point. I may just text her right now.
Yeah. But
Terry Pratchett touched a lot of lives, and he's just a great author. And
Yeah.
he's another one of those authors who just churned out books. I mean,
absolutely.
like 2 or 3
He's got
a year.
so many books.
Yeah, but I'm gonna go back and read some Discworld novels that I haven't read yet.
Me too.
Because I've read quite a few of them, but I haven't read them all, and that's something that I think is really great.
Yeah, see, that's what I like about Discworld. There's so much of it.
Yeah.
Like, and even now that Terry Pratchett's dead, there's still plenty of Discworld books to read.
But I think Small Gods is a good one to start. I think you would especially like that one, Ben. I think any of the Night Watch books are really good. And that's the thing is you don't really have to read them in order.
No, absolutely not. I've actually had people recommend not reading The Color of Magic and The Light Fantastic
I actually
first.
agree.
Because that's like the analogy that I read was reading those 2 books first for Discworld is like saying, I want a cake, and then filling your mouth with sugar, flour, and eggs.
Yes.
And expecting a cake.
Yes, that is a good analogy for that. And I mean, I think you know what? The Color of Magic and the Light Fantastic are certainly not my favorite of the Discworld books.
Yeah.
But they're worth a read.
They're worth a read. They're
worth
the first 2. So.
Yeah.
Those were actually also adapted.
Yes, they were.
As well as
Adapted.
Adaptated.
Adaptated.
Whatever.
That's what we're calling it from now on. That's
Hang
the
on,
word
I
now.
smell some toast.
Half of your face looks really weird right now, dude.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You're drooling.
Woke me.
shit.
Woke me. Sorry.
But
As a person who has one, I'm not offended.
and also Going Postal. And I actually remember
Going Postal is really good.
Yeah.
Going Postal is a really good book.
And so is the Mint book that he followed up with that character
Yeah.
afterwards.
And I think I
It
had
keeps
watched that
sounding
movie,
familiar, so.
and the year I found out that adaptation had been made, and I watched it, I went to Dragon Con that year, and there was somebody dressed up as Moist von Ludwig and Adorabella, and I was like, yes. It was great.
That name sounds really fucking familiar.
Maybe she read you going postal.
Yeah.
Maybe that may have been what it was.
Basically, it's about somebody who
starts the mail
a
service.
con man. Yeah, it's a con man who gets arrested, and the dictator in charge of the main city in Discworld, that's name I've forgotten.
Ankh-Morpork.
Yeah, on Morkpork, the dictator of that city, who runs things like
Everything.
the trains come on time in
Yeah.
Discworld. In Ankh-Morpork, but he basically is like, you're dead, but now you get to live your life as Moist von Ludwig.
Yeah.
And you get to start the postal service. Have fun.
Yeah.
This sounds super goddamn familiar, so I believe it's probably one of those.
Going postal is not a bad one to start with.
Yeah.
Monstrous Regiment is also very good.
This one's a little lengthy, but soul music.
Yeah, soul music's great. Anything with Susan in it is great.
Yeah.
We could spend hours talking. We could
So
just turn
long.
this into a
Yeah.
Terry Pratchett podcast.
Terry
Pratchett Book Club.
New intro.
Yes. We're here for Terry Pratchett. Do.
Okay, let's actually get on to Ben's answer.
Yes, sorry, Ben.
Do you want a good one or a bad one first?
Good one.
I really enjoy the first Hellboy movie.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
That one's really
okay.
fun. Honestly, I enjoy both of the Hellboy movies.
I
very much.
like both
I
of them
actually
too.
really like them as well. And I think they're both kind of underrated.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm very sad that they're not gonna make a third one.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be a remake. But that being said,
A
fuck,
remake of the first one?
of the it's just gonna be
It's a
like they
reboot.
didn't happen. It's a
Oh.
reboot kind of thing.
Does that mean Ron Perlman's not going to be Hellboy anymore?
No.
What's his fuck? Because he's been in some movies that I fucking love. He was in Let's Go to Prison, and he was also in the Iceman, and like he played the main killer of the Iceman. And
Okay.
what the fuck is his name? I'll pull him up right quick. But I think he's gonna be a pretty good Hellboy because he's got that same real rock stoic-y kind of face.
Nice. See, that's what I love about Ron Perlman is like even when he's not in Hellboy makeup, he's just got that face, you know?
Yeah.
He's got that Ron Perlman face. Ron Perlman's another one of those actors. When he shows up in something, you're like, oh, it's that guy.
Fuck
Yeah. He's also a treat whenever he shows up in something.
Yeah.
He was in...
Like when he was in Pacific Rim.
Yes.
I
just
loved
a
him
treat,
in Pacific
A
Rim.
treat. I wish there were more actors like that.
Yeah.
Where you just see them and we're like, hey,
Just Ron Perlman.
I'm happy you're on the screen right now.
Ron Perlman and
Bruce Campbell is like that.
Bruce Campbell.
Hell yeah.
Hugh Jackman.
Mark
Hugh
Pellegrino.
Jackman. Yeah.
Mark Pellegrino for me. I think that's an Ari specific one.
Yeah, maybe,
but,
maybe.
It's how I feel.
I like drinking Pellegrino.
You know what? I don't.
Sponsored.
I'm not.
No, we're not. We're not sponsored.
Sponsored content.
Actually, Pellegrino is kind of gross. There we go.
Yeah.
Now we won't be sponsored.
We definitely won't. We can't. We're not going to get any of that sweet Pellegrino money.
Whatever. We're not getting any money.
It's true. This is a labor of love.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be Michael Shannon, but I think I'm wrong. He is supposed to play Cable, though, so I'm kind of excited about
Oh.
that.
Michael Shannon's playing Cable.
I believe so.
I wanted it to be Keira Knightley.
I wanted it to be either Henry Rollins or Josh Brolin.
Ooh, Henry Rollins would have been great.
Fuck
Yeah.
yeah.
I wish we saw him in more things. Also.
He's in a Netflix movie I haven't watched yet.
Oh.
It's called He Never Died.
Ooh.
It sounds pretty cool. It's about this. It's either an angel or a demon. I'm not sure
It's
which.
about Jesus.
It's about me.
Well, Henry Rollins is Jesus.
Hold up. I've got.
What's your least favorite adaptation, Benjamin?
I'll give you. Between the two, actually, you already brought up one of my two.
Oh, really? I didn't mean to steal it.
It's fine. It's totally fine. It actually makes this shorter. It was Series of Unfortunate Events, the movie.
Oh,
it's one of
okay. That
those.
was one of your least
But
favorites.
Silent Hill Origins,
Oh, yeah?
the second live action movie, is hard garbage.
I've never seen any of the Silent Hill movies.
Well, the bad thing about
I've also never played any of the Silent Hill games.
Oh,
so
I love the universe.
Yeah.
I played a few of the games. I've watched a lot of Let's Plays and things about it. It's just they wanted it to end with the second movie, and so they just cut it down. Because
Wow.
honestly, I really enjoyed the first movie. It's fun. The music and everything, the whole cinematography and how everything looks is fan-goddamn-tastic.
isn't there a scene where like Pyramid Head rips somebody's skin off?
Oh, he does more than that. That whole scene is
Oh,
fantastic.
God.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the movie, but I haven't played the games, but I have watched somebody play the games.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, it's fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like, we've already discussed kind of our thoughts on horror things.
Yeah.
So
Talked about horror a lot.
Yeah. So I've never really done any horror things.
We watched Silent Hill Downpour, I think. I watched somebody play that game, which I've heard is not the best Silent Hill game.
It's
But it scared the shit out of me.
the thing about Downpour. It has a really fantastic idea behind it. And it's a really good one to do last, because the idea behind Silent Hill is that you die and you end up in your own personal hell.
Right.
The thing about Downpour is
You don't die.
no, this dude ends up in between a bunch of different people's personal hells, and so he kind of just flows between them.
Yeah.
And it's
Whoa.
it's a pretty cool idea in my opinion. But
The game opens where like you play a character who's gone to jail to kill a pedophile that's
Whoa.
highly implied to be the murderer of your son. So it starts out really heavy. If I'm remembering correctly, it's been a couple of years.
no,
but
that character that you're talking about, the
Yeah.
pedophile,
yeah.
that dude killed / raped the main character's son.
Right,
He
that's what I'm saying.
He
Okay.
definitely raped his kid.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
Oh, okay, so he did.
It's no.
There's no implication.
It's
Okay.
100 on point. That's
I
the
didn't
guy.
remember it very well, so
Yeah.
I was like, was it said right out or was it implied? But
But that character that you see in the wheelchair, do you remember that at all?
no.
Okay, but that's the pedophile as well, because it's supposed to be guilt, your guilt coming back, or the character's guilt for killing that character.
Oh.
Yeah.
I get it. And that's actually something that I really like, because this is kind of a tangent, but I see people on the internet be like, I would never feel guilty about beating somebody to death because they're a monstrous person. Like,
yeah, you would feel a little guilty.
I think if you've murdered somebody, even if it's somebody who quote unquote deserves it,
Yeah.
which like we can talk about the moral and ethical implications of that, but like let's say for a minute you find out that your neighbor has killed hundreds of people, but there's no way to prove it.
Right.
Is it morally right for you to kill them? Well, maybe, but I don't think you can come away unscarred from that. And to see people on the internet be like, yeah, I could shoot and kill this person to be totally fine. It's like, would
Yeah,
you though?
like, no.
So I kind of
Probably
like
not.
that Silent Hill has this aspect of like,
Yeah.
that man in the wheelchair is a pedophile, and like that is horrific. But even though the main character kills him, that doesn't mean he's okay with that.
Like, here's a real life example I saw unfold in front of me.
Wow.
Uh,
Are we about to find out that Travis has watched somebody get murdered?
no.
No, that he
God.
is
It
a
was-
murderer.
It was
Look at the-
Murderer, Travis?
Look at those cold dead eyes.
It was watching you play Skyrim.
Okay, so hold on. I gotta give some background to this. I gotta make some explanations. Hold on.
Swerve ball.
This is a twist. This is a twist.
You know exactly what I'm talking about,
I
too.
I do. Okay, hold on. Let
The
me
plot
explain.
goddamn thickens,
Yes.
baby.
So as you all know, I am
gotta
not
get a
a
drink for
video
this.
game player. I'm working my way through the classics, I guess.
The classic.
Not the classics, but like Bethesda. I
Skyrim
guess.
is the classics.
It is now.
Yeah.
Bethesda does. So I am playing Skyrim, and I have decided that I'm going to join the Dark Brotherhood. However, I am a very anxious player. Like, I can be doing something I've done a million times. Like, I joined the Thieves Guild, so I'm very practiced at, like, breaking into houses and stuff now. And I can be breaking into a house and I'm like, is anybody around to see me? I can't do it yet. I've been standing here and nobody sees me, but I don't know if I can do this. Oh my God, God, is that, what's flying at me? So I went down to kill this woman who runs an orphanage, which is the beginning of the Dark Brotherhood quest.
Grella the Kind.
Grella the Kind, who is not kind. She abuses children.
She's
and I hate child abusers.
Yeah.
In real life and in video games. And Travis, you can continue with the story.
Yeah, so Ari goes into the orphanage, and immediately, like, when you walk in there for the first time, whether you're doing the Dark Brotherhood thing or not, the very first time you walk into the orphanage, you hear Grella the Kind yelling at all the children, like, you are all pieces of shit. You'll never get adopted. No one's ever going to love you. Fuck you guys.
She doesn't let anybody adopt them.
Yeah.
I went down there and I was like, hey, can I adopt one of the kids? And she was like, No.
No.
No, I don't let any of them get adopted. So, like,
And,
she just keeps them so she can abuse them.
And so she was being abusive to these kids right in front of Ari's face.
Yeah.
And then Grella goes to like use the cooking pot for way too long. Her animation for that was way too long.
Yeah, she must have been making risotto because
But-
nobody needs to stir anything that much.
But so
I was standing right behind her.
Ari was crouched behind her with her like weapon out, hidden from everything, and it took her 5 minutes. Like, I shit you not, it took her 5 minutes to decide whether or not she actually wanted to kill Grella the Kind.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, for real. This is why I think we need a Let's Play channel, because that's amazing.
I just was like, oh, I don't care. Okay, first of all, it took me 5 minutes to get my weapon out.
Yeah.
This is pretty. I was just like, God, I don't know what's the moral implications of killing a character while they're not fighting back.
The moral
it's one thing if
implications
it's
are
defense,
none.
It's a
but
goddamn
another
video
thing.
game.
But I don't know. It made me uncomfortable. And then I spent a good minute and a half being like, all right, I'm gonna kill her
she was
now.
like psyching herself up.
Time
I'm
to
gonna
stab.
do it. It's gonna
I'm
stab
gonna
her.
do it.
It's gonna do it. It's
And
gonna happen.
it was, I did do it in the end. I'm gonna join the Dark Brotherhood. I probably am drinking a Red Bull right now. So once I get done with this
you're gonna be
podcast
up
recording, I'm gonna
forever.
go do that. But
Oh,
it was hard, man. It was tough.
yeah.
See, I don't like killing people. This is my best defense if I ever get accused of murder. I'm just going to put Travis on the stand and be like, I couldn't even kill someone in a video game.
Yeah.
And she was an abusive person.
There's a couple of things that make the Dark Brotherhood, that whole quest line, pretty easy. The first one is that glitch I told you about last week, where you just find the blind guy's room,
Yeah.
and you just you put a rubber band around your controller, and you let your character like just crouch walk, like backwards against the wall, and you get it to a whole 100 stealth. And I'm sorry for bumping the microphone.
For those of you who don't know, Dark Brotherhood is the Assassin's Quest storyline in Skyrim.
Everyone already knows.
I didn't. What if somebody like me is listening that never played Skyrim before?
Well, she needs to play Skyrim because it's fucking good.
Oh, why do you assume it's a woman, Ben? No, I'm just kidding.
I think you said niece.
What if someone like me?
Oh, I think you said niece. I'm sorry. My
Oh,
bad.
It's all right.
Might be.
We get it. You're a sexist piece of shit. It's fine.
I'm a sexist.
Joking.
But no, the other one is Mehrunes Razor.
Okay.
All right, so it's a dagger.
Uh-huh.
And I'm trying to remember because if you level up stealth enough, you can get like times 20 on a backstab.
Mm-hmm.
And you can get that multiplied by Mehrunes Razor because it has the effect of... Oh, you have it's a 1.98% chance of instantly kill any opponent.
Damn.
Oh,
But
nice.
because of its damage and like the multipliers and how they work, it's more like 80 to 90% that you're gonna instantly kill like a 100% like completely healthy enemy.
Nice.
All right. Well, Ben, once we're done recording,
Oh yeah, we're gonna play some goddamn
we're gonna
Skyrim.
Yeah,
play
we're
some
gonna play some
goddamn
Skyrim.
Skyrim.
It has a fun quest that's kind of hard to do, but it's good.
Also, I truly believe that I am, very charming and great. So I think watching a video game is just watching me play a video game. I imagine is just a treat. A treat.
It's definitely something.
Which
Travis is the only person who's actually watched me play a video game
Yeah.
here, so he's probably like, not good.
I'd say we probably don't have the capabilities to live stream it yet. So
I do actually.
Holy balls!
Sometime. We'll do it sometime.
Okay, I'm sorry. When I get home, I'm gonna live stream Bloodborne, so that's fine.
Nice.
Nice. All right. What other adaptations that you like or dislike that you want to share?
I've got one more.
Okay.
I'm sorry. It's one of those movies a lot of people love to shit on, and I hear a lot of bad things about it, mainly because Keanu Reeves is in it.
Constantine?
Yes,
I
it's
actually like that movie.
it's one of my favorite movies, and it's fucking good.
We just high-fived because Ben and I are awesome. First of all, I love the character of Constantine. You have to try hard
Yeah.
to really fuck up that character.
Yeah.
Second of all, Tilda Swinton as Gabriel.
Oh hell yeah!
Perfect. Mwah, mwah. I'm doing the Italian thing where Italians like meatballs.
Mwah.
Mwah, mwah.
What?
I
Why is that even a thing?
I don't know.
I can't remember.
That's a weird stereotype.
This means it tastes good, and so like
Mwah.
saying that about something means it's really.
Who
fucking
does
good.
the bit?
You know what tastes good? Tilda Swinton as Gabriel. Mwah.
Who does the bit where it's like, I kissed his butthole and then it exploded?
I don't
Is
know.
it
You
a
do
famous
that bit
person,
in
or is
your
it somebody
dreams.
I
you've
did.
seen?
What? No, it's
The comic?
It's a comic who does a bit about that motion.
I've never heard of this.
Yeah, it might be T.J. Miller, someone along those
I
lines.
think so. But also Peter Stormare as the devil,
Good.
as fucking Lou.
Good job.
Hell yeah. Oh, and then like after the movie came out, he was in those fucking like those Volkswagen commercials.
Yeah.
And so it was like the devil drives a Volkswagen.
Well, that's not surprising.
Well-
Am I right?
I get it. I get it.
As a German, as
I
like
get
a,
it.
as my family is mainly from Germany, and
I get it.
and we drive Mercedes.
Fair enough.
It's more like
Oh.
Hail, it's more Hail Satan than Heil Hitler. I'll say that much.
Yeah, fair enough. I was gonna say, here's an adaptation that I really like. That's based off of a book that's very old.
Yeah.
Some might say from antiquity.
Oh my God.
We're talking about
The
Passion
Prince
of, the
of
Christ.
Egypt. What?
What? What?
Hold on, wait.
What?
Okay, first of all, how dare you reference that snuff film? Second of all, you like that snuff film? Third of all, you thought I would like that snuff film? Fourth of all, you've seen that snuff film?
I said it just for you to say all those things,
Okay.
and I'm glad that went exactly as I planned.
Fair enough. No, it's not The Passion of the Christ, because I don't like snuff films. I want to make that very clear.
Speaking of which, I almost watched a Serbian film today, or Bone Tomahawk.
Oh my God. Ugh.
Anyway, The Prince of Egypt.
The Prince of Egypt, the DreamWorks movie. So good.
Yeah, very good.
So good.
I forget how different of people we are.
Right?
Another one of my favorite like kind of loose book to movie adaptations that's kind of an ancient story is Oh Brother Where Art Thou?
Yes.
Very
Good.
very good Odyssey adaptation.
I did.
Yes.
Oh, okay. All
Yeah.
right. I'll take that.
Yeah.
Well,
Wait, is it the Odyssey or the Iliad?
It's the Odyssey.
It's the
It's the
Odyssey.
Odyssey.
Yeah, yeah.
if
The Iliad is when they're fighting the war.
Oh, okay.
The
Gotcha.
Odyssey
Yeah,
is when Odysseus is trying to get home.
That's right.
Those get mixed up a lot, and that confuses me because Odyssey, Odysseus, it's in the name.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'll say this much: if we're going that loose, first one just to get it out of the way, It Follows is also a pretty good like. Probably, yeah. It's kind of like the Odyssey because that was like the harsh kind of thing it was supposed to be, kind of about kind of thing. Maybe the Iliad. I don't remember. Anyway, if we want to go super loose,
If you want to go super loose, anything's an adaptation of anything, really.
Yeah.
we're gonna go.
Did you know that Black Swan is an adaptation of the Ruth Boaz story? Who knew?
I'm
Who fucking knew? It's not. It isn't.
gonna go with the first 3 Alien films
Oh yeah.
because it's an adaptation of H.R. Geiger's The Alien,
Oh yeah. Okay.
okay.
Yeah.
I'll accept
the
it.
piece of art.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Sure.
For our
All right.
yeah.
Fair enough.
Okay.
You nailed it.
Thank you.
I think that here's a question, and I have an answer for this, so I'll go first. What is a movie that you don't think is a very good adaptation of something, but you still enjoy the movie?
Okay.
For example, I really like the Miyazaki Howl's Moving Castle.
Right.
It is not a very good adaptation of the book Howl's Moving Castle by Diana Wynne Jones.
Right.
Or, other example, I enjoy the later Star Trek movies, the reboot Star Trek movies. I do not think it's a very good representation of Star Trek.
Yeah, but they're still okay.
I think they're good. I like them.
I like the first one. It's a very good
Yes,
like
the first one is great. I actually really like the third one too. The second one is meh. Meh.
I think I already kind of answered that question with a series of unfortunate events.
Oh, you like the movie. You
Yeah.
just don't think it's a great adaptation.
Yeah.
I'll say this much. The new Evil Dead movie, which is an adaptation of
Yeah.
the first Evil Dead movie.
That's
Yeah,
true.
that's fair.
Not a great adaptation, but still.
A good
I
movie.
still think it's a good movie, and I still think it's true enough to the source material to call it an adaptation or a reboot.
I like it up to like the last 20 minutes.
Yeah.
That's about what it is.
I think that there is a case to be made. Well, first of all, I am not a person who's like, it has to be a straight adaptation because I recognize that you just have to change things. If you're
Right.
adapting something from book to screen, you just have to do it. But I think there's a case to be made if you are that person that the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory
Yeah.
is a really great movie. It is not the best adaptation.
Yeah.
No.
But I think the changes they made are good changes. So I think it still is a good adaptation.
Yeah.
But I can see their argument there.
Trying to think of one. It's like It's kind of a question. It's still on the same tangent. It's like, what is a movie that you thoroughly enjoy, but if you made one change to it, you would like it so much better?
Ooh, that's tough. Now I have to go through every movie.
Yep. Every single movie.
Do you, want me to, do you want me to tell you yours while you're thinking of yours?
Wait,
Or
do
you
you want me to tell you? You're going to tell me what mine is? Wait, no, I want to see this. I didn't know you could read minds.
I thought we were all smelling toast. I'm sorry. All right, so I'll tell you mine while you're thinking of yours. It is a Clockwork Orange.
Okay.
Ooh, what's the one thing you want them to change?
I wish it was 30 minutes shorter.
What would you cut?
I wish it would end when he's jumping out the window. I think that would be a more fitting end.
Okay.
Because I don't like that last part. Because sure, it's about it. It's circular. Because what is a story? It's supposed to be like, you know, character development and arcs and everything. But with how the character works throughout the entire movie, like up until like the jumping out the window, that's the culmination of him accepting his like problems as a person.
Actually, I think that would improve the book as well. Are you familiar with the fact that the book and the movie have a different ending?
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, the book of Clockwork Orange ends very differently from the movie. It essentially ends with Alex. He does go through the deconversion, right? So he's a real asshole in the beginning, and then he gets messed with by the totalitarian government he's a part of, where he can't be violent or have sex or anything, and he gets deconverted from that, or de-brainwashed, I guess. But then the book ends with him going about his life as a real, you know, like raping people and beating the shit out of people and blah, blah, blah. But then Alex just meets one of his former friends who's like grown up and gotten a wife and has a job. And Alex is like, I want that too. So he just decides to change and like be a better person, which I think is fine, except it doesn't make sense.
Right.
And I personally believe that there are just some crimes that you can't recover from.
Yeah.
So I think it would end better with Alex dying.
Yeah.
I get that. Because you can still have that growth and that change. I don't know.
I like what you're getting at, because
thank you.
both original endings for the book and the movie just kind of suck. But that's
Yeah.
because the guy who wrote it, I can't remember his name right now, he just rushed through it for the book. And it was just he tried to meet a deadline to make some cash. And
Yeah.
it's the book that he fucking hates, too.
He does. Well, that's because it's the only thing he's known for. And he's
That's-
written other things.
That
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah, it's the only thing he's known for. And you know what? He's a very accomplished composer. He's written some other books that I think are actually better than A Clockwork Orange.
I believe that.
Guys, go read some Anthony Burgess. That's what I'm going to say there.
That's his
Yeah.
name.
I mean, you know,
Because, like, the movie's fun and everything. and
Yeah.
It's just one of those, like, stonery movies you watch in high school.
you know, I really loved the book and the movie when I was younger, but I think I've grown a lot, and I think I, you know, don't feel the need to be edgy just for edgy's sake anymore.
Yeah.
So I just don't love it anymore.
Yeah,
I don't
'cause
like it as much as I did.
It is probably to a T what someone on 4chan, if they acted like they did on 4chan, would be in real
Oh
life.
God, you're so right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really interesting message.
Yeah.
Which the message is like, it doesn't matter how terrible anyone is, the government doesn't have a right to force you to think.
Yeah.
Which I agree with,
Yeah.
actually. But I think I have an answer. And it's
Okay.
another Stanley Kubrick movie.
Fair enough.
The Shining.
Oh, yeah?
I've never been able to watch all of it.
Really?
Not because I didn't
Well,
like it, just because
spoiler
of,
alert for The Shining.
I know most of the story. So,
All right, fair
yeah.
enough. The Shining ends with Jack Nicholson chasing Danny through the maze.
Yep.
And he loses Danny and freezes to death in the maze. That's not how the book ends. The book ends, the boiler's about to blow up because it hasn't been taken care of. So Jack regains his senses for like a minute, goes down to take care of the boiler to save his wife and his son, and they escape, and Jack dies when the boiler explodes. And I think that that's a real a more satisfying ending.
It is. Because it's not... Well, both would have worked for a movie.
I think it's a little more, maybe more Hollywood
Yeah.
than
Yeah.
Stanley Kubrick is.
I think that's why you probably had Jack Nicholson die in The Maze.
Probably.
But yeah.
I don't know. Stanley Kubrick, that's actually why, like, because endings are so important to me. A good ending, even if it's not like the happy ending, makes or breaks a movie or book or whatever for me.
Oh, absolutely.
And so I think the reason why I say that Stanley Kubrick does not make good adaptations, even though he makes good movies, is because he insists on changing the ending.
Well, I think he does that because like he doesn't like the audience to know what's going to happen, you know.
Yeah.
But that being said, like I watched. Like,
I mean, I was shocked to find out the original when I read because I saw the movie before I read The Shining, and when I read The Shining, I was like, "Holy shit!"
This is
and I just preferred that ending. Yeah. And that might be personal taste, but it's a question of personal taste. So
I mean, that's the thing about like. Well, I'm going to use literature loosely here. We'll go with media is probably a better word for it. But you can have your own opinions, and your opinions are fine about that sort of thing because everyone's a critic, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Because we're all different. If we weren't all different,
we'd suck balls.
Yeah.
Ari Kobler.
If
we weren't all different, we'd suck balls.
That should be like in your like description or like on Facebook or Twitter or something.
That's gonna be my Tinder profile.
Let's do that right now.
If we weren't all different, we'd suck balls. Ari Kobler, 2017.
I told you guys I watched this earlier. I don't know. Event Horizon.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's a movie that. What would you change about it?
I wouldn't necessarily change anything about it, but it very much fits with how The Shining works.
Yes.
I don't know. What? Have you ever heard or seen of this film before I dive too deep into it?
I've seen Event Horizon. I mean, it's been a long time.
Okay. Have you seen it, Travis?
Yeah, I've seen it like in the last 5 years, actually.
Yeah.
Because it kind of fits with what The Shining. I don't know like how closely together they came out compared to each other. The Shining came out like what, the 80s, the 70s?
The 70s.
Yeah. All right, so and Event Horizon came out in 96, I believe.
Oh wow, yeah.
Because Prodigy did the music for it.
Mm-hmm.
But no.
But that same kind of like everyone's in one confined space and one person starts going crazy.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's about The Shining came out in 1980.
Oh, okay.
That's still like 16 years before the Event Horizon. So.
Well, I mean, like that is not.
It does.
Like we talk about how stories are similar.
Yeah.
You know, that is not a crazy plot. Oh, these people are cooped up together and then one of them starts to go crazy, then they all go mad, or one of them turns out to be a murderer. Like that's the plot of every horror movie in the world. Like it's not.
Well, the cool thing
that's how Frankenstein got written. Like it's not crazy.
Yeah. The cool thing about like Event Horizon is that it's not necessarily one character going crazy.
Right.
It's just that he hid his intentions very well.
Ooh.
But and it also kind of like flashes back to like his evilness like taking control over himself. That's pretty cool too.
Yeah.
I mean, I am down to rewatch Event Horizon. I'm down to rewatch The Shining, to be honest.
Yeah.
We'll do both and do a podcast about it.
You know, I think the reason why I don't have like more answers for this is because when I watch a good movie, I just enjoy it.
Yeah.
I don't dissect a good movie like I do
bad movies.
Well, I only say that about like a Clockwork Orange because I've seen it literally like 20 times.
Yeah. What's a movie that I've seen 20 times that I wish they'd change something? God, I can't think of any.
Me neither.
I wouldn't change a thing about Scott Pilgrim, which is a movie I've seen a lot. Or When Harry Met Sally. Actually, yes, I would. Here's what I would change about When Harry Met Sally. So the central conceit is the question, can men and women ever be friends? And I am here to tell you as proof, I have several male friends, and I've never had sex with any of them.
That's the thing, because like when Harry Met Sally came out, it was the
80s.
Yeah, that's what's his name?
Right, I get it. Feminism hadn't been invented yet. Sexism was rampant, unlike today.
No, that's like
where sexism is over.
Yeah, because everyone's equal.
Everything's fine.
Yeah.
I feel like the dog that's sitting in a house and it's all on fire.
It's all on fire. Everything.
This is fine.
This is fine.
Yeah. But yeah, no, but even the 80s, like, this is what this reminds me of, actually. You know how sexist The Taming of the Shrew is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everybody's just like, it was the time. No, it
No.
fucking wasn't. There were plays that came out after Taming of the Shrew that was like, hey, let's dial back the sexism a little bit, Shakespeare, written by other people. So, like, this idea that, like, oh, well, yeah, that's just when the movie came out. Like, I don't actually think that's true. I think that there were tons of women back in the 80s who had male friends, and they didn't want to have sex with them. You know what I mean?
Oh, When Harry Met Sally is a like an adaptation of The Taming of the Shrew?
No, it's not, but
Okay.
I'm saying, like,
I was like,
as
oh
an
shit, I need to
example.
watch this movie.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, you should watch When Harry Met Sally. It's great.
Okay.
It's hilarious. Billy, what the fuck is his name?
Eisner.
No, not
Crystal.
Eisner. Billy Crystal. No, what?
Oh, that's Michael
Yeah.
Eisner. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, Billy Crystal is that character.
Yeah, Billy Crystal's
Is the
great.
actor,
Meg
sorry.
Ryan's great.
How do you feel about 10 Things I Hate About You?
Oh, I love 10 Things I Hate About You.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. I probably wouldn't. It wouldn't be the movie I watched right before I died, but
All right. Because it's very much a Taming of the Shrew.
yeah, it's a Taming of the Shrew.
Okay.
But they get rid of that whole like she has to be subservient to him
Okay.
aspect. Because have you seen the Taming of the Shrew, or do you remember much of it?
I'm not going to say what I was when we were reading Taming of the Shrew in high school, but I don't
enough.
remember it.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
The Taming of the Shrew literally ends with Catherine giving a speech about how women must be subservient to their husbands. The male character, his Petruchio,
Some fucking crazy Shakespeare name.
some Italian name.
Mercutio?
Mercutio, possibly. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
He basically abuses her into submissiveness, like literally starves her, and
That sounds more Poe than Shakespeare.
I know, right? Literally starves her, and like they're walking, and she's like, Petruchio's like, oh, look, do I see the sun before me? And Catherine's like, yeah, it's the sun. And then he's like, no, I think it's the moon. And Catherine has to agree with him.
Oh God.
There are 4 lights.
Yeah. It's just, it's kind of fucked up.
That's breaking.
And the thing is that
Jesus.
that was not the time. There were people who came out who were writing plays around that time that were not that way. Shakespeare wrote plays that did not have that much sexism in them. So, like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
everybody needs to chill out. Chillax.
Fucking A. Take a chillaxin pill.
Take a time out. Take a knee
Fucking
for
A.
Jesus.
Take a knee for. Oh yeah, that's
Have
the
a come
thing.
to Jesus meeting.
That's what I was gonna do. Sorry, I found the ultimate physical gag, but maybe we'll link this in the show notes.
Link it in the show notes.
But all I'm gonna say before I show this to both of you is yes.
It's a Google, so it's a screenshot of a Google post, and it's "Can Jesus," and then the second most searched is "Can Jesus microwave a burrito so hot that even he could not eat it?"
Yes.
That's one of those age-old questions, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really need to get Thomas Aquinas on that.
No, from experience,
dead.
I will say yes, because it's really easy to microwave a burrito too hot.
Yeah.
It's very easy.
Very easy.
All right. Well, I'm excited to watch this episode of Supernatural.
Yeah. What's it called?
Skin.
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 Ugh,
Is
it's
it
got some
like
gross
Silence
shit in
of
it.
the Lambs?
No.
No.
Oh man, there's some movies we should watch.
Wait, you know nothing about this episode, right?
No.
Get ready to be uncomfortable in the skin that you're in, and I'm shaking the microwave.
Comfortable.
Do you guys want me to try to guess what it's about?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Sorry to blow the mic.
Skin.
Skin.
Supernatural.
Yep.
It's about
Yes.
a dermatologist
You're right and you're wrong.
who has a patient with haunted skin, and then he grows like haunted ghost pestilent boils, and they pop all over everyone, and it spreads a disease, and everyone dies.
Okay, we actually do have to cut this section because I feel like the Supernatural writers, if they listen to this, would take that and turn it into a plot of an episode.
They will.
That's so stupid. I lost brain cells.
No.
Surprise.
We're gonna
no,
keep
it is
it
not.
in. We're gonna keep it in, and if they use it, we're gonna sue them for a lot of money.
God.
All right, so
That's not what it's about, Travis. Just quick spoiler alert.
Okay.
You're going to be uncomfortable in the skin that you're in. But yeah. Here is what my sister sent to me about the Terry Pratchett book to cut way back to earlier.
Oh, yeah.
Here's the response. My initial thinking was that it was Thud. No matter what, it was a
Okay.
part of the Night Watch subseries of the Discworld series.
Thud is about
Yeah.
trolls, but those are
Yeah,
close to
Thud
ogres.
is about trolls, yeah.
But I do remember the thing about like the dictator and the
Yes, he plays a big part in those books.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it was definitely probably a Night Watch book. What year was it?
Thud came out when I was in high school, so.
Yeah.
Like what year was like 2014 was when she read the book to me.
Okay. Yeah,
Thud would have been out.
Yeah, Thud would have been out.
All right, well, back to Supernatural.
Yeah.
I'm excited
Thud.
about this episode. I remember it fondly.
It's
Yeah.
gonna be a good time.
It's going to be a good time.
Cool.
All right.
All right, let's
We'll
do
be
it.
back.
Where will you sleep when the mutant cockroaches attack? In your bed next to Deborah?
So the other day, I was talking to like somebody, and I asked to speak to their manager because they were being like super rude, and they were like, "Oh my god, I am the manager." And I was like, "Oh my god, that's crazy."
Or will you be in one of our state-of-the-art end-of-time shelters, proven to keep out zombie, elder gods, or most likely, mutant cockroaches that try to sneak into your house and burrow into your eyes and eat your brains? This is science. Safe from the mutant cockroaches. And Deborah.
I like to go out and party, but also I'm gonna stay home with my cats, and so.
Don't wait. For the low price of $5.99, you can be prepared for the cockroach apocalypse and ready to leave Deborah.
Well, I just really my heart like one day I did a flower and the next day I grew and was like, oh god, you know, just like whatever.
So welcome back to Hey Assbutt.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
We watched the episode.
I hope you enjoyed the ad that was playing in the middle.
Yeah.
I'm certainly going to buy that product.
Yeah.
too.
Or those services.
Yeah.
Maybe both.
We haven't recorded the ad yet.
Nope, not yet.
But we're going to. We're going to put it in there.
Yep.
And you guys will see the finished version of it. It's
Yeah.
gonna be great. We'll
We don't
listen
even
to
know what it is yet.
We don't. I think I just threw Travis for a loop because I mentioned the ad. And now
Yep.
he's like, well, we gotta fucking
Yep,
do it now.
now we gotta do it.
Or I have to cut this out like it didn't happen. It's going on a lot longer than I wanted. Isn't
Yep.
it, Ari? It really is, Ari. Hey, but this is a good segue into what the episode is about.
Yeah.
It's
Travis.
about advertisements.
Okay.
Take it away.
All right. So there's a spirit that haunts skin, and then it starts giving
Nope,
out some
nope, wrong.
like haunted boils, and
Nope.
then they explode
You're already wrong.
and infect people with their haunted pus.
Travis, this is because I said that was the stupidest idea for an episode I've ever heard of. Is that what happened? Did I hurt you? I'm going to sum up the episode. Is that okay?
Yeah.
That's
I
totally
feel like that's all I do. I
fine.
feel like I just sum up the episode. Okay. Here's what it's about. Sam, so cold open, classic cold open. We see this woman who's being tortured by mysterious figure. And then the SWAT team comes in and they trace the mysterious figure. And it's Dean fucking Winchester.
Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs.
And we're like, whoa, something is afoot. The Dean we know is not a murderer.
Damn right.
Or he is, but not of
Not of people.
like blonde
Yeah.
women.
Not of blonde hot women.
All right. At least not in this season.
Damn right.
Reference to later things.
Hey,
Hey,
double
hey,
wink, wink,
hey,
nudge,
hey,
nudge,
hey,
say
hey,
no say no
hey.
more.
Ben and I are winking at each other. Okay.
I'm double winking. It's called blinking.
Yeah. That is what that's called.
Yep.
Good job.
Yay.
So, it opens and it's 1 week earlier, and Sam and Dean are traveling around doing their business. And Sam gets an email from a friend of his, from Stanford.
Get his email on a goddamn Palm Pilot.
Yeah, on a fucking, 2005 This is what business people had.
I'm just surprised it
Mr.
wasn't.
Businessman had this phone.
I'm just surprised it wasn't a fucking Nokia Engage.
Yeah.
If he had pulled out just like if a courier had come up and been like, "Letter for Sam Winchester." Oh, I'm glad I found you. Here you are. I wouldn't have been totally surprised.
Yep, and then
if a
Sam-
carrier pigeon flew down from the sky and was like, "Cuckoo, cuckoo. Here's your letter." I'd be like, "All right, it all comes together. It all comes together." But her, it's Becky, it's a friend who sent it to her. Her brother Zach has been accused of murdering his girlfriend. Becky swears that Zach was with her until well after the murder happened. So they go to investigate, and they find out, dun, 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 it was a shapeshifter
Damn.
who has been using the sewers to get around the beautiful, small town of St. Louis.
Those damn.
Missouri.
Yeah.
Those
The
damn dirty
very small
The
shapeshifters.
town
very
of St.
small
Louis, Missouri.
town, mostly white town of St. Louis, Missouri. I think we can all agree.
It's nothing but a grocery store and a McDonald's.
Really, yeah, it's a Piggly Wiggly
And
a
sewers.
stop sign and sewers.
And a shifter.
Yeah, and a shapeshifter. So they go down to the sewer, and they hunt for the shapeshifter, and he changes into Dean, and goes to Becky's house and tortures her, bringing it back full circle
Yep.
to
The flash forward.
Sam and Dean. He had previously kidnapped Sam and Dean and tied them up.
Yeah.
And Sam and Dean escape. They go to Becky's house. Sam gets held by the police. Dean runs away before he's arrested.
As you do.
And Sam is talking to Becky. But
Uh-oh.
Dean has found Becky, the real Becky, in the sewers, and it's shapeshifter Becky talking to Sam.
Oh, no.
Twists abound.
God damn.
So they run back to the house, and they save Sam from the shapeshifter. They kill that motherfucker. Dean, who's been accused of all the crimes, is dead.
Yeah.
And they leave St. Louis never to return because Dean would immediately be arrested.
Yep.
And that's the episode end.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about it. Thoughts, questions, concerns? I have some thoughts I've written down on this notebook.
That initial song was fucking hype as hell.
Yeah, there was
Yes.
that intro song.
It was
Rock music plays.
rock
yes,
music play.
bracket, rock music plays, and bracket.
It was a good deal by Mommy and Daddy, which is the weirdest.
Good Deal
That connected
by
because-
Mommy and Daddy.
So in the cold open, when shapeshifter Dean, or as I will call him, not Dean, is torturing Becky, and when we're like, "Whoa, Dean would never torture someone. What's going on?" They play this really cool song, and then when they catch up to it later in the episode, they play another song that isn't the same song but has the words "mommy" and "daddy" in it a lot.
Yeah, it was very
It's
weird.
weird how
It was
that
a weird
connects.
song.
I
Yeah.
think the one reason they went with that song is because of where it starts. It really lines up into the show when the shifter is shaping or changing into Becky.
Right.
And it literally says, "I don't want to be a freak show pretty boy anymore."
Oh yeah, and
And
that's
so-
Which is what Dean feels like he is.
Yeah, he's a freak show pretty boy.
Because that's the thing about the shifter. It was showing that how
Like, it not only can it change into another person, it can like
Read your mind.
read your mind.
well, it's like the brain is changing into your brain as well.
Yeah,
Right.
which is
You're
fucking
downloading
nuts.
that person,
Yeah.
which is very creepy.
What I want to know is how the shapeshifter does that without killing or eating the other person.
You mean like eating, like how you
Like
eat
or
your brain?
biting,
Yeah.
or like doing something.
Well, he swiped at Dean in the sewer.
So
When
do you
Sam
think
and
it's
Dean go down the first time?
do you
and
think
Dean
it's
gets
as
an
simple
injured
as
shoulder?
just like skin on skin contact?
Yeah, I think
or
it
a
is.
scrape
Yeah.
or something like a blood sample.
They didn't say that explicitly in this episode, but
it's
the
inferred.
shapeshifter,
That like even if you just pick up hair.
yeah, DNA,
Oh, okay.
and they basically copy your DNA, and through that copy like,
Gotcha.
all your.
Are there more shapeshifters later on?
Yes.
Yes.
And we learn about that.
That's not a spoiler. So
Okay.
yeah.
I mean, that's just basically how that's how a generic shapeshifter I feel like would work.
Yeah.
They're-
Now they did add something really cool to this shapeshifter and also very gross.
Yeah.
And that is how the shapeshifter changes.
It literally tears its skin off.
Yeah, its teeth
And
fall
what?
out.
Yeah, and what looks like a very painful transformation.
Which really,
You're like changing from like your very fucking like your bare bones, like hell yeah, even your
Yeah.
bones all the way through to your fucking marrow is changing.
well, your
so-
bones have to change because I mean the shapeshifter goes from Dean to a woman.
Yeah.
And that woman is shorter and going to be thinner, and the bone structure is going to be different. So he has to, like, we see the bones cracking and like morphing, and it's so gross.
teeth falling out.
Yeah, but it
Yeah.
makes sense, and I actually think that's because like I'm thinking like other famous shapeshifters, and my mind immediately goes to Mystique from X-Men,
Right.
And she basically just like
She has this like,
Microsoft
Yeah.
old timey screensaver, like
and then she changes.
yeah, and then she changes, like the blinds are opening,
Yeah.
and that's how she changes, and I think if I were to meet a real shapeshifter, that's how it would be.
Yeah.
Not the Mystique way, but the supernatural.
And I
way.
like
Yeah.
that, like, once it tears its skin off, the skin, like, kind of melts.
Yeah.
And it's like a weird goop pile.
Ugh, so
That's actually
gross.
something I was a little disappointed when the shapeshifter was dead. I was almost expecting all of its skin to fall off.
Yeah.
And then it would be like, you would see the true form of what the shapeshifter was. Because the shapeshifter was talking about being born.
Ugly.
And it was like, oh, it was ugly and hideous and everyone hated it. So I imagine that it was something like a fucking what's that movie with the old baby?
Benjamin Button?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
a Benjamin Button situation where it's just like the ugliest baby on the planet. Maybe it has horns or something. Maybe it's got like super wrinkly skin.
We were talking about the Van Helsing. Or we were talking about adaptations earlier. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah?
I jumped. The Van Helsing adaptation from like a few years ago. How
Yeah.
the werewolves change is
Yeah.
very similar
Is
to
it
this.
like that?
Where they just going back and forth. They just tear off their skin.
Ugh.
And like from human to werewolf, they tear off the skin and hair pops out. Back to human, they rip off the hair, or it falls off, and they
Wow,
change
that's
back human.
fucking nuts.
See, I actually think I prefer not ever seeing the shapeshifter's true form because I was thinking about this. Some of the major themes that run through
Because
this
it's
episode.
kind of like, does a shapeshifter even have a true form?
Exactly. Well, that, but also like the major themes of this episode deal with like abandonment and being alone and never really like fitting in somewhere.
Right.
Because that is mirrored. The brothers feel that. Sam and Dean feel that, and it's mirrored through the shapeshifters, and through the shapeshifters' journey, and that manifests with Sam never being able to be truthful to his friends at Stanford because they're going to think he's, in his words, a freak. Dean being abandoned by everybody.
Yeah.
And the shapeshifter, it all kind of rolls into one because he can never reveal who he is.
Yeah.
Because he's a freak. Or really who it is, because we see it change, they changed the genders.
Yeah.
The shapeshifter, not an it, but sorry, like they. They can't ever reveal who they are. They always have to be alone, and it's kind of pushed the shapeshifter character into madness.
Right.
Where when he's rejected, like he is with Becky, because he kind of macks on Becky. He goes to the house as Dean.
As Dean to try to mack on Becky.
And
yeah.
he talks about like feeling lonely and being ugly and
Needing a human's touch.
sympathizing and needing
Yeah.
a human touch. And so he makes a move at Becky, and Becky freaks out, and that's when the shapeshifter goes crazy and tries to attack her and attacks her. So, it's, if you think about it, like this shapeshifter character could shift into somebody and then go move to a different city and live its life out.
Oh, yeah.
And never have to kill anybody. But being alone and not being able to talk to anybody about who they really are has pushed this person to murder.
Right.
And
That's the thing. Like, if they're changing into like you, they would have your wants.
they
and
would be
feelings.
me, yeah.
So if you had someone in your life that you deeply cared for, they would immediately care for that person.
Right. Well, we don't see that because the shapeshifter doesn't. I mean, he turns into Dean. He doesn't care for Sam at all.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't care for Sam exactly, but he does. Like, Dean did have feelings for Becky. He was very much like hitting on her to Sam. Like saying like he was very much wanted.
So he
her.
so you're saying like the shapeshifter felt that same like lust?
Yes.
Yeah, I would
Yes,
agree with
exactly.
that. But I also think the shapeshifter, I mean, I think even if Dean had never shown any attraction to Becky, I think he still would have tried to make a move on her because he so craves that human affection.
Yeah. But if it was smart, yeah, sure, it would just go out to a different, like a completely different town and try to
Right.
get that one night stand.
Yeah, or just like live its own life. Like you can move to a different town and be like, "Hey, I'm Dean Winchester and I moved in and like I'm setting up a mechanic shop," you know?
That would be smart.
Yeah, but going back to the original point of like you're disappointed you didn't get to see that. I'm actually glad that we didn't get to see it because even at the very end, the shapeshifter has no identity that's his own, and even in death cannot be accepted.
Wow, yeah, that's true.
And I think that's just like makes a more powerful ending for this character.
Also, it just dissolved into like empty cells. It like we wouldn't have that culmination of like Dean being dead with quotations.
Yeah,
in it.
then Dean would be on the hook for all those murders too.
Okay,
Yep.
right. Okay, I
So-
didn't think about that plot. That very small plot aspect.
That
Yeah.
plot necessity.
Yep.
Which isn't like I think the thematic importance is that's better, but
Yeah. But
get it,
still,
yeah.
it would have been cool if like the shifter had just been like, you know what? I'm hanging up this murder knife and I'm gonna rack it up and just go out somewhere and start a business.
Yep.
This is the first but not the last time that we're going to see a villain who gets that like sympathetic
Yeah.
nod. But this is the first time that the villain is like
Yeah.
gets that like to this speech about how they are and how hard it is to be them and blah blah blah. It doesn't excuse murder, but
Definitely not. So the first time, but definitely not the last time.
no, definitely
Yeah.
not.
The underlying theme of Supernatural is that
Nobody is good.
that nobody is nobody is good. That is very true.
Yeah.
But also that man is the true monster.
Yes.
Oh my God.
That's part of it.
Also, all right, so I'm going to go back to the thing I said to you guys at the end of that episode when Dane shot Dean. Is that suicide?
Oh
Because,
my God.
Because what is me?
No, it's not suicide. I mean, it certainly creeped me out to have to. If a shapeshifter Ari walked in here right now and I was like, "Quick, get a weapon that's not a gun because I don't have any guns."
Here, I have this leaf knife.
Thank you. I'll take that leaf knife. If I had to take this neat life and go to town on this shapeshifter, just like bear,
It is very
slashing,
sharp.
slash. Giving Ben the leaf knife.
Why don't you make like a tree and leave?
Ah.
When I said leave, I made a stabbing motion.
Yeah.
With the leaf knife. But the point is that I would certainly be freaked out to kill somebody that looked like me.
Yeah.
Oh,
But it
yeah.
wouldn't be me.
Well, see, that's why.
I have my consciousness.
That's why if you see a doppelganger of yourself,
You
you
admit-
have to kill it
Yeah.
because it's a paradoxical double and it's going to die anyway. Or you're going to die and it's going to assume your place.
It's the one.
Creepy.
Yeah.
I want to talk about one of the things that villains love to do in Supernatural.
Is leaves knives laying around?
Well, no. I mean, yes, he does do that. Okay, this is actually a weird editing point for me. At the end of the episode, he's got Sam. He's tied up Sam.
Uh-huh.
He's gone from Becky to when he knocks Sam out
and back to Dean.
And he's going to kill Sam to like pin all the murders on Dean.
Yep.
Well, he's got Sam tied up on the couch and he's like looking for a knife.
Yeah.
And then it dissolves.
Yeah, and then it like crossfades or dissolves,
Yeah.
and then Sam is laying on the floor now
in a next to a pool table.
next to a pool table, and then the knife that fake Dean had in his hand from
Yeah,
the
not
kitchen,
Dean.
is now in a bag with some more rope.
Yes.
Like it was
Which
a very
is weird.
I feel like they did two different.
Yeah.
They had two different scenes in mind for that, and they did both of them, and then
Yeah.
somehow combined them.
It was strange because, like, think of how much time the shapeshifter, not Dean, wasted moving Sam,
Yeah.
putting the knife that he took from the kitchen
Well-
in a bag, just so he could lecture him while he's getting a drink.
Well, what I imagine.
It makes no fucking sense.
That's the
What I imagine is like fake Dean was taking his time with murdering Sam.
Because villains in this show, hold on, this gets back to my original point. Villains in this show, when they have the ability to mind read, love to separate the brothers and get one of them incapacitated in some way and then be like, I'm going to lecture you about why you're a bad brother and about how your brother secretly hates you.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to murder you.
And then I'm going to murder you. It happens literally all the time.
That happens to both of them.
Yes.
But so I've kind of filled in my brain gap with that, is that like fake Dean was taking his time to kill Sam, So he was like pouring himself a scotch.
Yeah.
And he was gonna enjoy it. He was gonna take his time and enjoy it, have fun with it. And then during that time, Sam was trying to like struggle and get off, and then he like wiggled his way over to the pool table or something. I don't know.
He no, what happened was he's laying on the ground. Fake Dean's made himself a drink. He's clearly going to enjoy this murder.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Which is dumb.
I always pour myself a glass
of Johnny
scotch.
Walker Blue.
Nah.
Yeah.
Before I end up just slitting someone from end to end.
I get some cognac.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I light a cigar.
Some Hennessy.
Some some nice shit.
Yeah.
You get some, they're, Becky and Zach, the brother who was accused of murder originally, both went to Stanford. So, their parents are doing pretty good.
They got some Cohibas and some nice
they got
and
some,
scotch.
they got some, aged, barrel-aged whiskey.
Some Glenlivet or some Glengooley Blue.
Yeah. Well, but
So
some Glengarry, or Glen Ross.
Some McCutcheon 60.
Let's just make up fake names to liquors now.
Some
Baba Ganoush.
Tequila. I just named a whiskey that was used in Lost as like a plot point.
Oh.
McCutcheon.
Some skooma.
Some skooma?
Some Lagavulin 16.
Oh, shit.
But, he's making himself a drink, which is dumb because he knows Dean is out there. He didn't catch Dean again. So Dean's running around looking for him. Probably is going back to his lair. Like, I'm sorry. If I were the shapeshifter, I would be like, okay, time to kill Sam immediately because Dean's coming for me. Well, and you know what I bet will incapacitate him? The body of his dead brother.
Here's the thing, though. This is a television series.
Also, you said shapeshifter.
You know what really ships my shape?
The question is, what is a shapeshifter?
Is it you?
Is it a backwards shapeshifter?
No, it's a ship.
That turns into shape.
That turns into shapes.
Oh.
So 1 minute you're on a boat, and then the next minute you're on a hexagon.
Oh, shit.
Then wham, bam, you're on a triangle.
Yes. Pulling it back around, you're on a circle.
Bam! Then for some reason, you're on a cylinder.
Oh, my God.
Nothing makes sense anymore.
Just abstract abound.
Okay, tell us your point, Benjamin.
Oh, no, but if this is true for James Bond, too. If the villain just killed James Bond instead of explaining his plan,
right? Or lecturing him about how he's not a good brother.
There wouldn't be a story.
Yeah.
So
I get that, but
you have to have the tropes for continuity.
Part of our job is picking that shit apart and making fun
that's
of it.
fine.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And as that's what I like to do is pick apart that.
Yes.
So get that double pick.
We're getting in those, getting in those crevices.
Yeah, we're really playing some inside baseball.
Hey.
But yeah.
It's really
villains.
Yeah.
Love. I mean, at some point, I imagine in season 13, there's going to be a scene where, I don't know, a demon's possessing somebody and is like, Sam, I'm going to tell you why Dean secretly hates you. And he's just like, oh, this fucking shit again?
Yeah.
I know. Continue with your lecture. This is very clearly very important to you, but all right. I guess continue. Go on.
Sam just stretches out and relaxes.
Yeah, he's I'm sorry, do you have any beer or something I can get while you're...
You got anything new that I haven't heard before?
Yeah. Yes, let me tell you your secrets. And Sam's just like, I don't care. Yeah. I'm going to kill you either way, so just wrap this shit up.
It's rock and roll, man.
Yeah. Scenes I want from Supernatural that will never happen.
I will say this about how the show goes is that they learn how to switch it up.
Yeah.
And it gets this show evolves, and that's what I love about it is that it knows how to grow and change and everything like that. Do you drink some cat water?
No. I have very sensitive teeth.
Oh, yeah.
And an ice cube was just on my teeth.
That sucks.
It's very uncomfortable.
Ari is a weakling and cannot handle ice on her teeth.
I got some Sensodyne and I'm trying to make them stronger. I don't know.
I like to eat ice.
Oh, God.
I am one of the strongest. I bite my ice cream.
Damn right. Take a massive chunk.
God, I'm
Yep.
just cringing.
If I
Cringing
have
so
a
hard.
popsicle in my hand, I'm not waiting on that shit to melt. I'm
Ugh, gross.
Do you
right
ever-
in there.
Do you ever get the hankering to go to Sonic just so you can get their ice and crunch on it?
Oh yeah, all the time.
it's so good.
Actually, I
Oh,
go to
God.
Zaxby's. They have similar ice, but it's a little bigger.
But yeah, you know what you can't get from Zaxby's?
What's that?
Ocean water.
Yeah,
But then you don't get Smurf mouth. So yeah.
yeah.
My teeth are about to fall out
I'm sorry.
from this conversation. It's just, you know how some people are uncomfortable when nails are on a chalkboard?
Yeah.
I'm uncomfortable when people chew ice.
Oh,
Ugh, God.
well,
My teeth hurt.
sorry for
Hashtag
every
sorry, not
single
sorry.
time I've ever done that.
I mean, it's fine. I'm not that uncomfortable, but let's get back to the episode, please.
I really want there to be an episode where they eat ice.
We've got to kill this demon, and the only way to do it is to eat ice while killing them. It's a weird rule. When that happens, that's the episode that I skip.
Yeah.
That's the episode where I'm like, I don't need to. You know what? I really don't need to see it.
Yeah.
That's how we defeat, I don't know, the Leviathan.
There's a lot of
God,
just
why?
there's just a lot of like really close up mouth shots and like heavy ASMR chewing sounds.
My least favorite ASMR
That's gonna be what the
videos.
stinger is. I'm gonna put a bunch of ice in my mouth and just crunch it up into my microphone.
I won't listen to it. I won't. Gross.
But yeah. So Travis, how did you feel about this episode?
I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
It was compelling. I mean, it's about as compelling as it can be.
It had a
Yeah.
cryptid in it.
Yeah, it had a cryptid in it.
was a-
Shapeshifters are very cool.
Yeah.
I like shapeshifters as a concept. They're just a very interesting villain. They always can be. And Ari said something about this, and I was really when you said this, I was really hoping that it was actually going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
When it was like, that's your brother. No, that's your brother. I'm the real one. You know, I love that trope.
It is a fun one. It's a good twist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And-
I call it the Solomon's baby trope.
Yeah. And I really hope that there is some kind of like doppelganger episode sometime in the future.
Oh, sir.
Yeah.
You have a lot to look forward to.
Oh, good.
There is a lot of like mistaken identity.
And that's always
This
fun.
person is that person.
No,
Yeah.
like what's cool about Supernatural, and I wish I could say more, is that happens, and it's not only is it it's not this person, it's oh god, it's not that monster. Fuck.
Yeah. Oh shit! Fuck.
It's the wrong thing.
Okay, if I were in the supernatural universe and I had to kill a monster the entire time, I'd be like, fuck, shit, god damn it, god, fuck. Can I talk about the fact that my least favorite type of villains in any media are like the rapey, molesty villains?
Yeah.
And that is the
That-
shapeshifter of this episode.
That
was
happened
that.
a lot with this.
Yeah, where it was like,
It did get pretty grapey.
yeah. Sam was like tied down. He got smacked in the face, and then Dean goes and Max on Becky. Just very uncomfortable.
Yeah, it was very like
uncomfortable.
and as soon as Becky realizes that fake Dean is like trying to come onto her,
Yeah.
it's like, oh.
Yeah,
And then fake Dean is just like, give me your hands.
yeah. It's ugh.
Yeah, not good.
Ugh. I think that like writers will be like, oh, you know what instantly
The-
ups the stakes? Rape.
Yeah,
And-
they'll throw that in there because it's edgy.
Yeah.
And it'll raise the stakes, and it's
Easy.
it is easy.
Yes. And that's what I don't like about it, because I instantly hate a villain who's like that rapey type of villain, but I hate that I've been manipulated into it.
Yeah.
I feel manipulated into it because it's such an easy thing to throw
Right.
in there.
I think that because this is a Freak of the Week episode,
Right.
I really think that the monster's not going to survive it. And they figure, hey, if we go the rape route, we can just kill the monster.
And there's no sympathy because
Exactly.
they're rapey.
Right.
Yeah.
But I
yeah.
already don't have sympathy for the monster because it's killing people.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just a general murderer.
But like I said, the show does learn to evolve, and I think this is one
It
of those.
does,
This
yeah.
is one of those early, I wouldn't say mistake things, but
It's still a good episode.
Exactly.
It's,
Yeah.
I would say
Yeah.
of the 6 we've seen so far, it's
one of the best.
one of the best.
Yeah.
How many episodes are in this season?
23 or 24.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we have so far.
Yeah.
We have miles to go.
Oh, I thought it was 12.
No,
Oh.
no. Well, you've made a
Oh,
mistake,
no.
friend. You set up some expectations.
There you go.
Why did I agree to do this?
Well, you're in it now, pal. You're stuck.
Do you want to do those double episodes that we were talking about?
Yeah, we're gonna have some double episodes in the future.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we got to get through this, or else we're going to be doing it until we're like 85.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we were doing Yu Yu Hakusho, son of a bitch.
Oh,
We'd
yeah.
be done by now.
We'd be done.
Actually, yeah.
It's not that long. It's not a long series.
It's 118 episodes.
Yeah,
sure.
not that long.
Yeah, not
Sure.
as long as Supernatural.
No.
That's true. Yeah.
Not long at all.
At 20 minutes of pop, yeah.
Yeah. So I guess it's time to announce our Side Yu Hakusho podcast.
Yeah.
Jokes are fun.
Jokes
are
jokes.
fun.
Jokes are fun.
But yeah, I mean, I really like this episode. And my critique of this, that isn't just a Supernatural thing. Everybody does it. Everybody's like,
Yeah.
how do we make this villain threatening and also super unsympathetic? Oh, they're a rapist.
Yeah.
Bah, bah, bah. So I want to make it clear, no rape actually happens in the episode.
Yeah, it's not like that.
Yeah.
It's
But-
just the implication.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very creepy.
Implication is still
There's
pretty creepy.
some sexual violence, it
Yeah.
feels like, almost.
for sure.
But yeah, can we talk about specifically the scene the first time Sam and Dean are captured by the shapeshifter?
Yeah.
And the shapeshifter has turned into not Dean, and he's like downloaded the memories, and it's just like
Yeah.
he says, the more I learn about your family, the more I'm just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Your background is more fucked up than mine. Can we talk about like that discussion and like
Yeah.
what he says to Sam and stuff? What your thoughts are on it?
Well, I really enjoy that sort of thing whenever you get that like outside looking in perspective of their relationship when something like
Right.
this happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Wow, that's fucked."
Yeah, well, that's like I think that's a really cool because whenever I learn more about other people, it really puts into perspective my own problems and like,
Right.
stuff I deal with, and so it's kind of cool to be like, "Oh shit, I thought it was fucked up." And sure, it's weird to say that or like sympathizing myself with a villain in that sort of way.
Yeah.
But that really does go to show how unhealthy of a relationship Sam and Dean have.
Right.
But they do, and at the end of the day, make it work.
Right.
Like, sure, they've had fucked up lives, but it's not just, you aren't a sum of your parts.
Right.
That you're not your past, you are not what you are now, you are a combination of everything.
You know, whenever I think about that, and I think about like just the hardship that they've been through,
Yeah.
you know, they do definitely have scars, and I think this comes out more in later seasons.
Every season.
Yeah, every season deals with like just the emotional pain and like the hardship this life is. But I think it was really interesting because this is the first time we get a glimpse that Dean maybe didn't want to live the hunter life. The hunter life chose him.
Yeah.
But we don't know if the shapeshifter's lying.
Let's
Well,
say
I wouldn't consider a shapeshifter a demon, so.
yeah.
Yeah, no, only demons lie.
Fair enough, Travis.
Nobody else lies except for demons.
But no, like let's say, not for the sake of argument, let's just say that the shifter was telling Sam the truth.
Right.
That's the thing about every hunter you see in this series. None of them wanted that life.
Right.
They were thrust into
They were
it.
thrust into it because of a situation that they were
Exactly.
not,
Forced
not in
onto,
control
yeah.
in. Yeah.
Exactly.
Almost nobody, with the exception of Sam and Dean and another character who gets introduced later, is born a hunter. Everybody every other hunter you meet is like, oh, well, I have a friend or a wife or a husband who died
Like,
Yeah.
hunting
well, that's the thing.
due to supernatural reasons.
Damn, man. I'm going to say this every episode, but there are things I want to talk about that I can't. But that's the thing. The only reason Sam and Dean were born into the hunter life was because of that circumstance.
Right.
They were like, they
Well,
were
I'm
literally born into that circumstance because of the
Right.
circumstance.
Right. No,
Yeah.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'm picking up what you're putting down,
Yeah,
friendo,
yeah.
pal.
Goddamn right. But no, like that's. But yeah.
Yeah. But I think it's just really interesting because this is we get that development for Dean where he's, because so far in the show, Dean's like, this is fucking great. I get to drive around. I get to shoot shit. He literally says, like, yeah, this is a hard job having to cut yourself off from everybody else. But you know what? It's certainly not without its perks. And then the shapeshifter repeats that to Sam
Yeah.
right before he goes off to torture Becky.
I think that's also supposed to be a mark of Dean's character where he's looking for the silver lining.
Right.
But sure, that's because
Literally the silver
point-
lining because that gun has silver bullets in it.
But but no, the fuck was my point? Oh yeah, that like sure, that's just a mark of his character that he's like looking for the silver lining, and it also kind of shows that he hasn't lost his delusions of grandeur about it just yet. Because
Yeah.
because a lot of hunters do it because they realize, hey, there's shit out there. I need to defend people from it.
Yeah.
Dean's doing it because he kind of just enjoys it right now.
Yeah, it's still like an adventure. There's a lot of guns and like.
Yeah.
I mean, he does. Yeah, he
Running.
definitely does have that like I need to save people from
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, he's a cowboy about it.
But
Yeah.
there is an aspect to this job that he enjoys. It seems like he enjoys hustling.
Yeah.
He enjoys fleecing money from people, and he does enjoy killing monsters.
Yeah.
Unlike Sam, who's just doing it for the revenge right now.
Yeah, all for revenge.
And
all
then,
for revenge.
which I think is really like the sort of the tragedy of Dean's situation is that because he's known no other life, and never even been given the chance to, because he really does get left behind by everybody. Like Dean has learned eventually everyone leaves. And sure, those people can come back, but usually not for long.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, on a long enough timeline, the survival rate for everything is 0.
That's true. Yeah, if you have enough time, everybody goes.
Yeah. I think Travis got that reference.
Yeah.
I didn't get the reference, but I'm picking up what you're putting down, buddy.
It's a Fight Club reference.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Tangent. Sorry. Y'all didn't see my face.
She went from like kind of happy to oh fuck.
Yeah. I'm going to write a memoir, and it's going to be called Fight Club and Other Things White Boys Have Ruined for Me. Because
I think it's really funny that
white boys have ruined Fight Club for me.
no. That white boys ruined an allegory for homosexual sex
Right?
between dudes
Thank
for
you.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
funny as hell to me.
It's ironic as shit, but it
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
It happened. It's one of the gayest books I've read.
One time it was when I was in college, and I sat down with a group of people I was in marching band with, and somebody made a reference like that to Fight Club, and I was like, "Oh, that's Fight Club," and they all turned to me and went, "Shh."
Because you don't talk about it,
Yeah.
Travis.
Yep.
You don't talk
Yeah.
about
All right.
it.
So on that note, back in college, the people my sister currently lives with in Los Angeles, they all went to college together, right? And they started this thing called, I put an air quotes around this, called Movie Club, because in college you get a bunch of different clubs.
Right.
They started their own club where they just watched movies.
Sure.
Awesome.
And the first rule of Movie Club
Is you don't talk about
is that
Movie
you don't
Club.
is that you don't talk about Fight Club.
Oh, nice.
Because Fight Club has been ruined for them.
Yeah.
Look, I think I do enjoy the irony that the term snowflake has been appropriated from Fight Club when literally the point of Fight Club is like, masculinity is toxic
Yeah.
and accept your gayness, I guess. I don't really know. But I do enjoy that it's been I do enjoy that irony, but god damn, I just
Yeah.
can't enjoy it anymore. And that sucks because it is a good movie and it is a good book.
Yeah.
I think it did bring about, I don't know how long Neil deGrasse Tyson has been saying this phrase, but it's very cool how they connect. In the movies, like you were made it, like you were made of the same shit that everything else is made from. But Neil deGrasse Tyson likes to say, if you break it down, everyone is made from essentially stardust.
Yeah.
But so is the shit in the trash can.
Also,
So
that's great.
Neil deGrasse
Yeah.
Tyson would be terrible to watch movies with.
no. I would love to get stoned as fucking balls and watch weird movies with Neil
Oh
deGrasse
God,
Tyson.
no! Neil deGrasse Tyson ruins every space movie by trying to add real life logic to Hollywood productions.
Yeah.
It's no fun.
Yes, it is.
It's no fun.
No, if you want to talk, don't. No. Do you enjoy watching a movie and talking shit about it?
Well, yeah, but it's not the same.
He would be the perfect person for Sci-Fi 4.
It's not It's not the
Yes.
same.
Let's watch a really bad sci-fi movie. I choose Lost in Space. And
Which
let's have
one?
Neil deGrasse, the movie that came out in the 90s.
Yeah.
The real bad one. And let's have Neil deGrasse Tyson tear it apart.
If you want to see Neil deGrasse Tyson watch movies with Habcast, please tweet at Neil deGrasse Tyson.
No, please don't do that.
it. Don't do it.
that.
Don't bother that poor man.
Yeah.
He is busy trying to convince people that climate change is real. He doesn't have time.
I really want to meet NDT, so please do this. I'm holding onto the microphone like I have nothing left.
All right, so back to the episode real quick.
Yeah. We got a little off track.
We got a little off track.
Dude, we derailed so bad.
Any final thoughts, questions, concerns,
I really
dreams, hopes, beliefs, religions,
Nope.
comments?
I was like, weirdly enough, I will say my the sleeper like wild card favorite of this episode, the soundtrack.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a really good soundtrack.
It's fucking dope.
And I have to say, I really liked this episode. I mean, I said I remembered it before we watched it. I was like, I think I remember this episode pretty well.
Yeah.
I totally forgot the twist with not Becky in the end.
Yeah.
Where Sam was alone with not Becky. So I was like,
Then he catches his bottle to the
Damn.
back of the head.
Yeah.
I jumped at one point.
Yeah, you still get scared by jump scares.
I am only human.
Dude, you got nailed when they were in the sewer.
Yeah,
in the
when they were
fucking
in the
we're in
sewers.
the sewer and he pops up behind Dean.
Here's what it is. He's in the sewer. Sam's like looking around. He says something, and then he turns around back to Dean, and the flashlight moves to the shapeshifter who's right behind Dean.
Yeah.
And it was very scary. It
Yeah,
was very
and
scary.
like at the same time, the eyes do the thing. And
Yeah,
it's
the
like,
eyes do the white thing. That's how they identify shapeshifters in this world. Is the eyes, the irises go white.
Well, that's how a few different monsters are identified, but sure. In
Oh,
this-
the most
I
popular
feel
way
like
to
the
identify monsters.
The shapeshifter irises are more like a reflective kind of thing.
Oh no, I will say this. This is a very foreshadowing thing of how they tell things if they're actually bad or not on camera.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The eyes will flash.
Yes.
But I will say one of the most popular ways for hunters to identify supernatural beings in the supernatural universe is the eyes get weird.
Yep.
The eyes get
Yeah.
weird.
Also, it's very cool because they learn how to use it very smartly.
Yes.
Later on.
Smartly.
Smartly. I'm Donald
Nice.
Trump.
I didn't realize that
Yep.
Donald Trump was on this episode.
Hey, I like to make up my own words because fuck it.
Yeah, sure.
We
All
live
right.
in America. Fuck it.
We don't have
Yeah.
to adhere to the normal rules of English.
God, no.
That's the country we beat, damn it.
No.
American Revolution.
I adhere to grammar, not spelling.
Fair enough.
But yeah, but no. What the fuck was I saying? Oh, they figure out how to use motifs in a new way. So it's that familiar thing, but with a twist.
Nice.
So it's pretty cool.
All right.
Because the eye thing is gonna come to play a big part in about 10 episodes.
Yeah. We're almost nearly there. We're not close at all.
Not close at all.
I'm gonna paraphrase one of my favorite, my least favorite Bon Jovi song. We're only a quarter of the way there.
All right. So the next episode is Hookman, and Travis, you know what's coming next. I ask this every episode.
I know it's coming next.
What do you think is going to happen next?
So what's happening next is Sam and Dean are in a restaurant at midnight, and what happens is
I look forward to this every episode.
they hear a tapping on the glass.
Wait, which glass? The window
the
or
glass of the window of the restaurant.
Okay.
And they look out to the window and they see the sash ringing, the trash singing, mash flinging, the flash stringing, ringing, the crash dinging, the hash slinging slasher.
You know, I was really hoping you were gonna do that, and then say he slams his hand against the window and says, "What do you think about them apples?"
Well, I'm not sure if it's going to happen next week. Quite frankly, I don't remember this episode very well.
I really hope all of this happens.
But if it does happen, we'll tell you about it.
Shit, yes.
So,
oh my
Yes,
god.
and before we start playing Skyrim and hanging out with a friend of ours
and watching Yu Yu Hakusho.
and watching Yu Yu Hakusho,
Then
there's only one thing to say.
I'm Ari.
I'm Trav. I'm not Travis.
You're not Travis.
Wait,
oh,
what?
fuck. Fucking Ben's a shapeshifter. God damn it.
Oh, God.
We gotta kill him. Get in front of the microphone.
Get in front of the microphone.
No, you're not.
Oh my God.
You're not talking into the microphone.
I was talking into the
It is
microphone.
pointing 3 feet away from your face.
What are you talking about?
Oh my god.
It's
It
right
is
in front of
not
my face.
pointed at your
It's so
face.
close I could kiss it.
It is
I
not.
should be asking it for a nice dinner right now. That's how close it is.
Ugh.